boys and girls. I just want to start off today with a message of the day. So I already wrote it up here for you guys. My message is, how do plants grow? Now I have a different ending punctuation today on my sentence because I wanted to ask a question. So instead of a period or exclamation point that we have been using, I wanted to use a question mark. So when we're asking a question, we want to use this particular end punctuation point. So let's read our sentence together, and remember it's a question, so make sure in your voice you are asking a question. So let's read it with Miss Young. How do plants grow? How do plants grow? Yesterday we talked about how plants grow. So I want to answer that question in a minute, but before we do that, let's count how many words we have in our sentence, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 words in my sentence. So if I were to write it, we would make a 4. And today, Miss Young is going to draw a different shape around my number. This is the number 4. Remember, 4 is this much. I drew a circle around my number. So we have a circle in the number 4. So let's read it together one more time before we're done with our message of the day. Are you ready? How do plants grow? Well, we talked about that yesterday. How do plants grow? I want you to share with your teacher how plants grow. We talked about 3 different things that plants need in order to grow. So on my little handout here, I just wanted to show you, there are 3 things that I have a picture in the words that plants need to grow. They need sunlight, they need soil, and they need water. So there are 3 things that we need to grow. Hold on. Baron, come here. Come here. Gotta be quiet. Come on down. Go get your choose toy. Go get your chew toy. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Otherwise, he'll keep barking. So there are 3 things that we need for our plant to grow. Sunlight, soil, and water. Let's say them with Miss Young. Are you ready? Sunlight, soil, water. So as you planted your seeds, some of you did it in a baggie, you could put it in a little pot. However you decide to plant your flower seeds that we'd included in your packet for week 2, you can plant them, and I want you to watch them grow. So there are things that you need to make sure you have in order for your plant to grow. You need to make sure you're watering it. You need to make sure you put it in a place where there's sunlight so it will grow. And of course, putting around the seed, you just can't put the seed in something, you need to put it in some soil. So putting it in some soil so that you can watch it grow is going to be really fun too. So those are some things that I want you guys to remember about the plants. And then we talked about the life cycle of a plant. So we talked about there are 4 parts to the life cycle of a plant. We have seed. It starts out as a seed. Then when you plant the seed, it sprouts. If it's getting enough water and sunlight and has enough soil, it's going to start growing. And then it's beginning to become a mature plant with all of its parts except one thing, the flower. The last part in the stage of a plant is a flower. Now all plants do have a flower. It just doesn't always look like a beautiful flower like we have in our picture, a sunflower. We talked about broccoli having is actually the flower of the plant. So there are lots of different forms that flowers come in. They do not always look like the beautiful flowers that we like to pick and smell and put on our table for arrangements. There are lots of different ways that they can look. But I wanted to also go over with you the parts of a plant. So we talked about the things that we need to make them grow, the stages of a plant. Now I want to share with you the parts of a plant. We have underneath the ground where you can't see the roots. Can you say roots for Miss Young? Then we have the stem itself. It's really tall. Then we have the leaves. If we're pointing to just one, it would be leaf. If we're pointing to more, we're referring to all of them. They're leaves. And then, of course, the flower. So 4 parts to a plant, and that's roots, stem, leaf or leaves, and flower. So there are lots of things that we have on our plant that, just like a butterfly and the caterpillar we talked about last week, there are parts to those. There are also parts to a plant as well. But I have a really fun story I want to read to you. before I go, this is an extra story, but it's one I wanted to share with you because I think it's really funny and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Looking at my story, what do you see on the front of it? There are monsters on here. My title, the pictures have monsters, and if we were to read the title, it said Mess Monsters in the Garden. So what does that give you a hint of what might be in our story? So you think about that. You predict and tell your teacher what you think our story might be about. Our author is Beth Shoshian, and our illustrator is Pierre Harper. So those are the people that wrote the story. The author writes the story, remember? And the illustrator draws the pictures. So let's see what happens in our story. One day, Mommy said, "The garden is a mess, and because it is so dirty, she suffers from stress." I said, "We need the dirt. It's better, I know. If it's tidy and clean, then nothing will grow." And we know we need dirt for things to grow, right? We're just learning about that this week. So let's keep going and see what happens. But Mommy said, "Nonsense. That cannot be right. I want nice paths and decking and things to delight." So looking here, looks kind of messy. I wonder what we can do to make Mommy happy and to have the soil for things to grow. So maybe there is a balance we can find in our story to help make this happen. What she didn't know was that locked in the shed was a big gang of monsters from under my bed. Oh my goodness, I hope you don't have monsters under your bed. She told them to clear out. Skedaddle, skidoo. And look, there's our exclamation point. To stop messing my room up as they used to do. So it sounds like they were kind of messy monsters that messed up his bedroom. So then they moved them out to the shed so they don't mess up his bedroom anymore. I hope you don't have messy monsters in your house that mess up your toys in your bedroom. First a hook, and then a crook. What a hideous sight! Oh my goodness, look at that worm. Is he excited, afraid, frightened? What do you think? As my mob of a mess monster crashed into the light. Look at the monsters. They're coming out of the shed. Those monstrous monsters burst up through the ground, shouting and screaming with ear-splitting sounds. Does it look like they're being helpful or hurtful? Take a look at the picture. Look at the monsters and what they're doing. Are they being helpful or hurtful? I hope you are not being hurtful. We want to be helpful, right? Even though we're at home, we want to be helping our moms and our dads and our brothers and sisters. So I hope you're being helpful and not being like these messy monsters, because that is not being helpful. They churned and upturned the soil and the earth, throwing mud all about them, for all it was worth. I wonder why they're moving the dirt and turning it upside down. Maybe it'll help us figure that out as we keep reading. Even Teddy was ready to lend them a paw, but they trashed him and stopped him and left him quite sore. Oh no, what are they doing to the teddy bear? I wonder, are they making green choices or red choices? Not being helpful with our toys and hurting them? That is a red choice. These monsters are not making good choices. They dug up some toys I was sure I had lost. Then they crushed them and mashed them, which made me quite cross. So if you're cross, do you think that means you're angry, upset, or you're happy if you're cross? Look at their faces. Do they look upset? I think you're right. They are not happy with what these monsters are doing. I seen quite enough, so I shouted, "Stop!" And look it. The illustrator and author wanted us to really see that word and say, hey, the characters in our story want it to stop. And they put all the words in really big letters, and they put an exclamation point right here. And I handed a spade to the monster on top. So there's our monsters. What do you think a spade is? It's a different word you might not have heard of. What is a spade? Look at that picture and see if you can tell your mom or dad what is a spade. It looks like something we might use outside to pick up dirt or to make a hole. Sometimes we call a spade a shovel. It's just another word for a shovel. So with bucket and fork and a long garden hose, trying to avoid any thorns in their toes, they started to dig up all over the place, throwing plants everywhere, getting mud in their face. I wonder if this is going to end up being helpful or hurtful, these monsters in the garden. I think they might be trying to help. I don't know. Let's see. They scrabbled and scrambled and worked through the night. And when morning was here, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think when they go out in the morning, do you think they're going to find something pleasant and happy that the monsters left behind? Or do you think there's going to be something very sad and messy? I wonder if these monsters are going to make them happy or sad. You tell your mom and dad and see what you think. What a fabulous sight! They were so excited. Look it. Is it messy anymore? It is not. They really worked hard and they planted everything and they made everything look beautiful and neat. So there's a path like Mom wanted. Because Mommy was wrong, though we dare not tell her. It's the mess in the garden that makes gardens grow. So sometimes when we are doing things, they do make a mess to start with. But we need to make sure when we are doing something that is messy, that we clean it up when we're finished. When Miss Young is cooking cookies or making dinner, or when I'm out in my garden, it does get messy. But you want to make sure you leave it nice and neat. Just like the monsters did, things can get messy, but make sure you're making a green choice and you're being helpful and not hurtful. And you're cleaning up your messes, whether it's your toys when you're done playing with them, or whether it's taking care of your plate after you eat and putting it in the sink. Little things like that help Mom and Dad out so that things don't get messy around your house. So I hope, even though we thought these monsters might be hurtful, they actually ended up being helpful. And working through the mess and making sure we take care of our messes is very important for things to grow in our garden and for things to be helpful at our house. So I hope you guys are able to share something that is helpful, that you were able to help. I would like you to share with your teacher something that you were helpful with, like the monsters ended up being in our story. How can you be helpful today? What can you help? Who can you help? What can you do to be helpful and make things grow, whether it's actual plants making them grow, helping them grow by watering them and making sure they have sunlight, or maybe you can help things grow in your house, making love grow, or making sharing grow with your siblings at home, with your brother or your sister. So I'm wondering, how are you going to make things grow at your house? So I can't wait to hear what you guys share. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Bye.